Welcome to That's Good Sports. I'm Brandon. I'm trying to do this entire episode without blinking, out of fear that Mike Tomlin will cut off my eyelids. Perna.
Don't blink. If you're a blinker, cut your eyelids off.
Luckily, Fitzmagic didn't cut anything off. He just took his shirt off at the Bills game. That's right, Ryan Fitzpatrick, the NFL everyman, rocked it with the fans in the freezing cold supporting his former team. Did he throw a dildo on the field? I don't know, but today we will go through the best and worst plays, moments, memes, and highlights from all of the playoff games. That's good sports. I know you hear it all the time, but please subscribe to this YouTube channel. Unlike all those other YouTube channels, this one will definitely let you down. Today's episode is sponsored by shakerandspoon.com/thatsgoodsports. Shaker and Spoon is a monthly cocktail subscription service that delivers the best, and I mean the best, craft cocktail ingredients and instructions to your door. Every box they offer is themed around one type of liquor, with 3 unique recipes to match your liquor of choice. This month, I tried the Tequila Net box because I wanted to concoct a tequila drink that wasn't a margarita, and Shaker and Spoon delivered. I made a Verdito, which contained poblano agave syrup and celery soda. If you have those ingredients just laying around the house, you're a liar. Each box contains a variety of syrups, bitters, aromatics, and garnishes that will make your taste buds super pretentious. These drinks are so good that I'm considering quitting water. To get a huge $20 off your first box, click the link below and use code That'sGoodSports at checkout, or go to shakerandspoon.com/that'sgoodsports to get truly elite tier drinks to show up right at your door. That's shakerandspoon.com/that'sgoodsports, or just click the link below and use code That'sGoodSports for $20 off your first box. Shaker and Spoon. Bengals versus Raiders. The last time the Bengals won a playoff game, I had never masturbated. Think about that. I mean, I masturbated twice during this game alone. The last time the Bengals won a playoff game, O.J. Simpson was on the call. Today we have Jack Collinsworth, and I don't know who is worse. Best! CJ Used Mama brings back the icky shuffle after scoring an opening drive touchdown for Cincy, and then ruins it with the fucking gritty. Did you just sample the icky shuffle, CJ? Come up with your own dance, or bring back the Macarena. Best, Trey Hendrickson is a terror, and since he's beating the Raiders, I support terrorism. He had a strip sack in the first damn quarter, which helped Cincy take a 10-0 lead. Derek Carr has more fumbles than any Raider ever with 76. Worst, the Raiders' Peyton Barber not knowing the rules. This savvy recovery cost the Raiders 38 yards of field position. Barber didn't keep a foot inbounds, and that bonehead play led to Derek Carr getting sacked on the half-yard line by old Mother Sam Hubbard in my cupboard. Best, Joe Burrow runs all the way to the sideline, knowing no defender will dare touch him, and throws the most controversial touchdown of the weekend. Oh, I love controversy. Worst, did the officials blow the whistle early on this play? Yeah.
Throws it back in the end zone, but was he out of bounds first? Throws it back in the end zone, but was he out of bounds first?
Did it matter? No. Should the TD have counted? Well, just based on the rules, no. But rules are meant to be broken, especially against the Raiders in the playoffs. I mean, the Raiders themselves don't even know the rules, so who cares? Worst, is this a catch by Hunter Renfrow? The world thinks so. The NFL officials do not. I stick by my rule, though, which is watch this in real time, not slow-mo. And no, it does not look like a catch. You could argue he got 2 steps while he controlled the ball there for a second, but in no football world should this play be ruled a catch, because Renfrow didn't even come close to completing the process. Worst, the referees calling this roughing penalty with the game on the line. The officiating was so bad in this game that the crew who called the game will not be allowed to work any more playoff games this season. Really cool of the NFL to ban them from the postseason after they butchered this game. BJ Hill did sack Derek Carr a play or two later, but damn, Derek Carr answered with an absolute rope to Darren Waller as Carr helped get the Raiders into scoring position. Look, this game came down to a 4th and goal throw by Derek Carr, who probably should have taken a shot to the end zone instead of clocking the ball, but that's really nitpicking. A playoff game coming down to a single play, that's as good as it gets. Carr steps back, fires, and shit, is picked off by linebacker Jermaine Pratt. Best, Joe Burrow hasn't thrown a pick in his last 5 games and has 13 TDs in that stretch. Finished this game with 244 passing yards, 2 TDs, 9 completions going to Jamar Chase, who may not have found the end zone but put up 116 yards, the most by a rookie Bengal in the postseason since Chris Collinsworth.
Hey, this is the first of many playoff games we win.
Yes, sir! Yes, sir!
Patriots versus Bills. Best, Emmanuel Sanders rocked some long-lived DT cleats to honor his former teammate Demaryius Thomas, who passed away in December. Thinking Demaryius Thomas helped beat the Patriots just one more time in the postseason makes me very, very happy. Best, every damn thing Buffalo did in this evisceration of the Dark Lord. Buffalo set the tone on the opening drive with this insane touchdown by Josh Allen. This is like that Joe Burrow TD on steroids, injected with PEDs and an energy drink. In fact, Josh Allen didn't even know he threw a touchdown because he was trying to throw the ball away and was genuinely confused by the crowd's reaction. Best, Micah Hyde had one of the nicest interceptions you'll see, thieving what would have been an early touchdown for New England and possibly a momentum shifter. Worst, this failed Mac Jones fake clocking. Oh, he fooled his own team, who forgot to block, letting him get sacked. A double boner bigger than Josh Allen on Viagra. Best, Bills up 27-3 at halftime, avoiding the doom of the 28-3 score, which, if it were the score at halftime, we know what would have happened next. Josh Allen's Viagra dick falls off and McCorkle leads a comeback for the ages. Buffalo intercepted Jones right after halftime. Levi Wallace gets the pick, but Matt Milano made an incredible play to tip the pass, and poor McCorkle just couldn't get things going. Best, Dawson Knox reeling in 2 touchdowns. But a huge reason Buffalo dominated this game was Devin Singletary, who was awesome. Showed great vision, scored 2 TDs, had 81 rushing yards, 5.1 per rush, and did exactly what you want in the playoffs. Get chunk plays on early downs and move the chains. If he keeps that up, I don't think anybody can stop Buffalo. Best, the Bills became the first team in the Super Bowl era to not punt or attempt a field goal in a playoff game. Yes! The Bills' touchdown drives, all 7 in a row, were for 70, 80, 81, 89, 58, 77, and 39 yards. Josh Allen was perfect. 21-25 for 308 yards, 5 touchdowns, and 66 rushing yards on 6 attempts. That's 666. Uh-oh, Belichick. Looks like the Devil's got a new favorite, and his name is the Bills. Best, the return of Bildo during the Viagra game that Mitch kissing titties Trubisky closed out in victory formation, made this the most sex-infused game since that Janet Jackson halftime show where she showed us the areola. Only Bildo Baggins can help Bill Belichick in his worst playoff loss ever. Eagles versus Buccaneers, worst? This was a roughing the passer call that bailed out Tom Brady on the Bucs' first drive that ended with a Giovanni Bernard touchdown. I'd bitch more about this one, but since the Eagles didn't even bother to show up for this game, how can I really complain? If you factor in the Steelers, Eagles, and Patriots' meaningless scores, 45 points were scored this weekend that were garbage points. Garbage time points. Worst, the Bucs took a 14-0 lead with a touchdown run by Keyshawn Vaughn, but it did cost them their center, Ryan Jensen, for exactly 0 plays. Jensen is an Iron Man, forged in the steel mills of Pueblo, Colorado. Worst, the Bucs put Tristan Wirfs back in the game while he could barely walk. Maybe Antonio Brown had a point. Worst, Jalen Hurts has Devontae Smith open for a touchdown, but Mike Edwards jumps the route at the last second for an incredible pick. Smith burned his man, and unfortunately Hurts has to swivel around before making the throw. Worst, 2 holding calls on Jason Kelce negating rare Eagles first downs. Now, I doubt any of the bad calls against Philly would have changed the outcome of this game, but it's my job to point out all of the horrible and fixable calls from the weekend. A problem the NFL refuses to actually address. Worst, Jalen Hurts, who had a rough day fielding punts, muffed one after a great stop by the Philly D that led to a back-breaking Gronk touchdown. Philly had plenty of opportunities to be competitive in this game and failed at all of them. Best, Bruce Arians assaulting his own players. No wonder Antonio Brown left. And now this is evidence that will probably support Antonio Brown's case. Oh my God, is AB not crazy? Tom Brady was efficient despite being sacked 4 times, 271 passing yards, 2 TDs, and most importantly, no horrific picks. Mike Evans finished the game as the only 100-yard performer and also had a TD. Best, Troy Aikman wishing he was calling the 49ers Cowboys game.
It's going to be a great game. A really good game. I think there's a lot of people that like to be calling that game.
You sure about that one, Troy? 49ers vs. Cowboys? Worst? I can't remember the last time I have seen a fan base this excited to see their team lose. Okay, maybe Packers fans in NFC Championship games. Best, the Niners marched down the field, making it look incredibly easy on their way to an Elijah Mitchell touchdown on the opening series of the game. Cowboys linebacker, Leighton Vander Esch, worst, had his name misspelled on his jersey. And that's what you get for having a dumb last name, Leighton. Worst, did young Sheldon say, "Kill Whitey"? No wonder Nick Bosa left the game early. Young Sheldon's hate for white people nearly made me miss this beautiful touchdown pass from Dak Prescott to Amari Cooper. Worst, Nick Bosa left the game with a head injury after the Nickelodeon blimp slimed him. Although, can any of us confirm it was actually Nick Bosa and not his brother Joey?
Joey Bosa is officially out of this game with a head injury.
I think family members should actually be allowed to play in each other's spots in the playoffs if injuries occur. Best, the Cowboys got a do-over punt after the ball hit Jerry's big stupid Jumbotron. That officially makes Jerry's Jumbotron better at returning punts than Jalen Hurts. Best, late in the third, the Niners put together a great defensive series, starting with the Cowboys penalty. Kayvon Williams plays like this Dak Prescott throw was meant for him from the time the ball was snapped. Debo is so nice with the ball in his hands. That touchdown gave San Francisco an insurmountable 23-7 lead, but not before they made things interesting. Worse, the desperate Cowboys could only move the chains with fake punts. And then after the fake punt, they don't know what to do. And this is when the game officially got dumb, but also good. Worst, Mike McCarthy sends out Greg Zuerlein down 16 in the fourth quarter, cuts a 2-touchdown game down to a 2-touchdown game. And it was nearly the right call because he knew Jimmy G would sail a ball over Brandon Ayuk's head that got picked off to set up an easy Dak Prescott rushing touchdown. Or maybe Dan Quinn knew Kyle Shanahan is horrible with a lead in the postseason. After a defensive stop, this was the Cowboys' last chance to really win, and Dak can't hit Cedric Wilson, who had his man beat. Best, Cowboys fans crying. Everything is bigger in Texas, including the tears. Best, the batshit crazy ending to this game. We saw Randy Gregory tackle an offensive lineman, handing the win to the 49ers. And then the Niners returned the favor by false starting on 4th and inches, negating a quarterback sneak that gave Dallas one gasp of hope, to which Dak marched the Cowboys down the field thanks to a creative play call, a few big chunk plays, before, of course, Texas imploded, as the game ends on a quarterback draw with 14 seconds left that Dallas does not set on time because they don't have any timeouts. They didn't give the ball to the official. They get the snap off but can't clock it on time. And the game ends. Dak should have also went to the ground when that official nearly tackled him. That may have given them a stopped clock for them to actually get the play off. Worst, Cowboys fans blaming the officials, Cowboys fans throwing trash at the officials. That alone earned Dak the MVP. I mean, he won it just like losing quarterback Mitch Trubisky before him, reminding us all how innocent and utterly stupid children really are. Steelers versus Chiefs, worst. The first quarter of this game, I felt like I was staring at an actual quarter for 15 minutes. Except when it finally ended, I didn't even have 25 fucking cents to my name. Best, TJ Watt getting a scoop and score to break the stalemate. He is 100% the Steelers' best offensive player. Worst, Ben Roethlisberger had 24 passing yards heading into halftime. Could have had more if Deontay Johnson was a little better at catching. No Steeler finished with more than 37 yards of offense. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how the Chiefs scored 21 unanswered points in the second quarter. Receiving no aid from their offense, the Pittsburgh defense broke. The Steelers blinked, and the Chiefs, they didn't cut off their eyelids. They just scored with Byron Pringle, Jerick McKinnon, the Chiefs' new postseason secret weapon, and Travis Kelce, who somehow got wide open on a 3rd and 20. Worst, Patrick Mahomes threw 5 passing touchdowns in the span of 10 minutes and 30 seconds of game time. It's easily the fastest span in NFL postseason history. Second fastest, of course, belongs to Brady, who did that in 25 minutes. It's like, why do I even watch football if all of my enemies just succeed? Worst, Najee Harris committed his first fumble of the season. I don't want to call him homophobic, but I haven't seen someone this scared to be touched by a gay since John Gruden. Willie Gay knocks it loose, and Tyreek Hill makes them pay on the next play and shows his support for his fellow gays with this touchdown celebration. Best, Travis Kelce throwing a touchdown pass while the Chiefs are already up 21. That made Kelce the second tight end to throw a TD in the postseason, following Trey Burton from Super Bowl 52 on the Philly special. The Steelers scored a couple touchdowns somewhere in there, but nobody really gave a shit. Blink and Jackson Mahomes will dance on your grave live on TikTok while Brittany Mahomes tweets about how worthless your life is. Great example as to why the Watt brothers will never win a Super Bowl. Their family is far too likable. And then we've got the Cardinals versus the Rams. Best, Von Miller rocked a Demaryius Thomas shirt before the game. Von had a sack and 3 tackles for losses. Pray for Tom Brady, who is going to have Von Miller breathing down his neck if Tristan Wirfs is out next week. And even if he's in, I can't wait for the Von Brady rematch. Best, Odell Beckham Jr., high points, a fade for a touchdown, giving the Rams an early 7-0 lead in the first. Odell's first playoff touchdown. And now we can all officially forget about the boat pick from 5 years ago. Worst, Sean McVay had to nail 2 first-half challenges just to ensure the officials didn't dick the Rams out of a touchdown and a catch that clearly wasn't a catch by A.J. Green. If you win 2 challenges in 1 half, you should get to squeeze an official's testicles for the same amount of time it took them to get the fucking call right. Worst, Kyler Murray threw a terrible pick 6. Just an ugly pick 6 that put the Rams up 21-0. This was the shortest pick 6 in playoff history, and no, that's not a height joke, and is especially hilarious when you compare it to Champ Bailey's 106-yard non-touchdown, which of course he did to the Patriots and Tom Brady. And if you thought things couldn't get worse for the Cardinals, you'd be wrong. Best, Odell Beckham Jr. completes the flea flicker. After that play, Beckham had more passing yards to Kyler Murray with 1 completion. He had 40 to Kyler's 28. Cam Akers caught that, by the way. Murray would finish with 2 picks, 137 passing yards, and a passer rating of 40.9. Best, Aaron Donald wearing a stop hate message on the back of his helmet while also getting a personal foul for ripping off a dude's helmet and trying to smash him in the face with his hand. Matthew Stafford finally gets the lion off his back and wins his first playoff game, throwing for 202 yards, a couple tutties, and most importantly, 0 turnovers. And hell, Stafford had a couple nice runs in this game too. And I put a Russell Wilson video up earlier today. That video's on the screen right now if you care to click that.